What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the vlog. Okay, today we're going to be heat wrapping my exhaust, all the turbo piping, the down pipe, and the different processes I use, the different methods, techniques, this, that, and the other. That's what's going to be covered in this video, and I hope you enjoy it, but let's get right into it. Okay, so a couple of the things you're going to need to do this first is blue masking tape. This is very helpful. The second thing is you're going to need the wrap, obviously. So I have titanium LR DEI wrap. That's what I'm going to be using. And then you need these locking ties in an assortment of different lengths. So I have the 8-inch ones, and then over there I have the 14-inch ones. For the 8-inch ones are for the primaries, and the big ones, the 14-inch ones, are for the big guys. So like the down pipe and the collector and those kinds of things. So, and then you're going to need some kind of cutters. These happen to work really well for me, so I like to use these. Then the other thing we're going to be using is this high temp silicone coating, because it does make the coat or the wrap nice and hard so it doesn't move around and then it gets all fumbly. So those are the things you're going to need for this, and let's get started. Okay, so we're going to start with the driver's side turbo header, and for me, I've already done one because, so you see my titanium wrap is the titanium bronzy color, right? So, and this is black for some reason. So I wanted to test out before I made the video what this coating looks like. It keeps the wrap in place, and I wanted to make sure that was true. So the wrap like wiggles around and stuff when it's on, and this like locks it in. There's no, you can't move it almost anymore. So I kind of wanted to make sure that it was gonna work, and I actually like the black because it blends into the header. It's not just a totally different color than the rest of it. So I'm gonna do the rest of the car this way. So the first thing you gotta do is make a plan. I've already come up with a plan, and I'm gonna share how I did it. So the first thing is you wrap this primary individually, and that's good from the collector up. And so that's the plan for that one. So then for the rest of it is, so you see I can't fit wrap between this, the second one, and this tube down here. I just can't do it. So I'm gonna wrap from here up, and then wrap these three together. And then this one, you see, if you come down here, it doesn't stop coming together super close till about right there. So then I'm gonna wrap this primary from here up, and then just continue this one all the way by itself. So when we get to the last one, we're gonna start from here, do all the collector, then those three pipes together for a little bit, and then cut it off. Do just these two pipes, and then cut it off, and then just do this one pipe. And not, when I say cut off, we're not gonna cut off, we're just gonna stop wrapping. So we'll hit our wrap that we got to right there, and then we'll finish it off. And that should complete this header. So let's get into it. Let's see if I can do this like a normal person. Okay, and one of the first things you're gonna do is I'm gonna clean everything with some Windex and some paper towels. All right, so now that everything is cleaned up, we're going to measure how much wrap we need. And so the other thing I was gonna say is this is the titanium LR wrap, so you don't need to soak it in water. It's very flexible and usable, and you don't need to do that. So, okay, so the other thing is you're supposed to wear gloves because this stuff gets really itchy and it sucks on your skin. I'm gonna put on my gloves. If I get too irritated, I'm gonna take my gloves off, but we'll see. I hate gloves with a burning passion. All right, got my gloves on. I hate gloves. I can't do this. Okay, I'll be itchy. Okay, I'll just be itchy. All right, and so before we start working with our wrap, the good thing to do is take our masking tape, and we're gonna sacrifice just a little bit of wrap just so this thing doesn't unravel. Cause what I found is this stuff comes unraveled very easily. So we're just going to take our wrap and put some tape over it so it doesn't unravel, and we'll just cut that off later. See, it's already like freaking me out. All right, so now let's measure how much we need. And so what we're gonna do is we're gonna work on this guy right here, and we're going to be wrapping it from about here somewhere up. All right, so what we're gonna do is we are going to loop this around and measure. So that's looped. So this much is one loop, and we are going to measure it. So I have 2 inch, so one loop, and you're supposed to have a 1/4 inch of overlap on each, no more, because then it gets way too hot and holds in too much heat. So a 1/4 inch, you got one loop, 2 loop, 3 loop, and 4 loop just for extra, and then we'll get a little bit more. So, and remember, we're not using this. So this is 5 right here. Remember, we got to get extra for this. So we're gonna actually take like about another, so we're gonna go 1 more loop just for extra, and then we're gonna take like another 1/2 foot. So we're gonna cut it off here. So before we get started, do you see this edge right here? So you see how it's threaded different than the top? So we're gonna want that edge towards the collector. We want that exposed edge because it won't unravel itself like this edge. So just make sure that when you're doing it, you have this edge exposed. So the first thing you're supposed to do, you're supposed to bend it at like a 45. Kind of like that, right? And then you wrap it over itself. So I'm gonna get in here to a place no one can really see it. It's kind of hard. We're gonna lay it down so as close down as we can. All right, that's about it right there. And then we're going to wrap. And you wanna wrap it as tightly as you can. Really make sure it's tight. You're gonna wanna use your thumb too to keep the pressure on that piece of the wrap. All right, so now you wrap around your 45 one time, and then you can move it and do your next wrap of a 1/4 inch. So we're gonna get our 1/4 inch, we're gonna pull it as tight as we can. We got this exhaust wrap as tight as we possibly can, and then we're going to wrap it. And so, now that we're at the end, we want this to be at the bottom so it looks nice, right? So the bottom is about there, and we're gonna roll it over on itself, so we're gonna cut just a little less. We're gonna cut it off about right there. And then we're gonna make sure we have one of our locking ties ready to go. One of these guys, uh-oh, why is that? Okay. And then what we're gonna do, so this, because this is a problem, we don't want this, so we're gonna roll it over onto itself tightly, and then put our locking tie on it. So this is where it gets tricky. All right, and it is on there, nice and tight. All right, and so I want the clips at the bottom so you just see the locking tie. You don't see like the hard part of the locking tie, just like that. All right, perfect. Pull this thing as tight as you can. Okay, and then to tighten it down at the bottom, we're gonna take this and just pull it as much as we can. Just really get this zip tie thing tight. All right, and they sell a tool, or that comes with a tool usually, and we'll cut all these tabs off at the end. But so far, so good. And so the rest is just really repetitive. Okay, so let's do the big one. So we're gonna have to measure a lot. So see all our zip ties at the back? We're gonna bend these things back over and then cut them with about a 1/2 inch with play. So just in case they need to be tightened up at some point, we'll just leave a little bit. We got a wrapped header. It looks good, and I'm itchy. So let's keep doing the other ones. All right, so let's move on to the passenger side header. So this one, I'll show you what I'm gonna do for this. So I'm going to wrap this guy, the little one, all by himself, so he'll be wrapped by himself. Then this one, I'm going to wrap it all 3 until right here, and this one's gonna go by itself. And then these two, now this one's kind of weird, but I'm gonna wrap them just together because there isn't much room in here anyway, and then they do almost touch right there. So I'm gonna wrap these two all the way to here, and then wrap it from there up, and then wrap it up and around, and it should work out pretty well. So I'm gonna do that real quick, and I'll show you what it looks like when it's done. Okay, there it is, and this is the finagle. So it doesn't stretch very well, as it just doesn't. I found that out fairly quickly. So there's no way to really get this around. So what I did is I got it as best as I could tight around, and then I took a metal tie and tied it up so it's tight. So all of this is now super tight and it feels good. So I'm not gonna wrap this because these gussets. So these gussets, it's just in the way. I think it'll be worse than just not doing it at all, so I'm just gonna leave it the way it is, just like that, and it should be fine. Like I was saying, how I did it is I did this individually, and then I did from here individually, and then I did from here individually. And so then I wrapped this is all one wrap, and it branches off into here, and it's done. And so that's how I did it, and it came out really well. I'm happy with the result. Okay, so this is the next piece we're gonna do, and we're just gonna do it with one whole piece. So there might be like a little gap right here, but it's not gonna be a big deal. I mean, this one came out really good. All of it looks, creases are good. I'm pumped on this one. This one came out good. Okay, so when you have your wrap, you're at the end of it, and you're about to wrap your zip tie around, and you want a clean surface like this one. So like this with no overhang on it, no fray, right? So it always is better when it doesn't look stupid like that. Okay, so you got this. So what you do is you make an arrow, basically, and then you flip the arrow over, and then you wrap your zip tie around it. And that seems to work the best for me so far, and it keeps all the frays in check. All right, so this is just for example. So remember, we have our wrap, so we fold it, fold it, fold it over, and we have our nice little edge, right? All right, so our edge is down, right? So a good little thing is take your zip tie, press it down with your thumb. Now you have pressure on the point, and you can actually spin it around and then clip it into the thing and then tighten it down, and it keeps the tension on the pipe and it doesn't slip around or anything. And that seemed to be really useful, like extremely useful. I messed that one up a couple of times. The next pipe we're gonna do is the main crossover. So this is just one straight shot. Hopefully it's easy. A lot of wrap though. All right, last crossover pipe is done. It came out really good. This one came out good too. I'm starting to get better. I'm starting to get the hang of this. I wonder if we have enough exhaust wrap to do the downpipe. You think so? I'm gonna give it a shot. I did the downpipe too, but it came out really good. And I don't know if I'm gonna use that spray adhesive on the downpipe or the silicone, whatever that DEI spray is, because it kind of looks nice the way it is. So, but let me show you. It looks so cool. All right, but here it is, the lot of it. So the downpipe actually came out really well. You can see all those nice stripes. I did run out, like my length wasn't long enough, so I did have to put a tie there and then did the rest and did another tie. The crossover came out, both the crossovers, the header, all looks good. All right, so we're gonna paint everything just like that, or it's not paint, it's that coating, but it makes it nice so it doesn't move, because you can move all this around very easily. Sorry everybody, it's like extremely dark out here, but it's all I got. And if you're wondering, I live in the middle of nowhere. If you can see me, I don't know if you can see me, but we're gonna paint these things outside, away from the cars, so I don't get high temp silicone coating on everything.
Wonder if all my bad decisions get accounted in the algorithms. No statistician could dissuade me from my bigger vision. I know my occupation's quite an unlikely place in this world to occupy and talk about upon a daily basis. Our information's predetermined by some biased business. We all in sermon to silicon that push out lovely neighbors.
So here is the driver's side header, and I think it looks awesome with the black coating on it, to be honest. And then here is the upper crossover pipe, passenger side header, and then the lower down or crossover. So it all looks pretty cool. I'm really pumped. Everything is wrapped. Everything's gonna be ready to be installed. So that'll be on the next video, is installing the hot side, or it'll be doing all the oil stuff. So one or the other. But again, everybody, thank you for watching. I appreciate your support. If you made it to the end, like, comment, subscribe. It means the world to me. And again, guys, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. And I'll catch you on the next one. Later.